Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rick's Tech Pub. I'm kind of thinking it's morning because I slept in today. I just didn't feel like doing crap today, so I was up at 5 o'clock, about a little bit before 6, and went back to bed. And I said, "Screw it, I'm not getting up this morning." So I got up at around what 11:30. First time in a long time I've done that. Oh, it's another cold, windy day, sunny. Looks nice, looks inviting, but you don't want to step outside. Not today. So, what's everybody up to? We've only got two people in chat. That is Darren and Ken. Well, where's everybody else? I'll give it a few minutes here, see if anybody else shows up. Because if not, this will be a very short live stream because I don't like talking to myself. And I know I watched Ken's show earlier today, and he leaves his phone in the other room so he doesn't pay attention to it. Well, I don't have that luxury because I get texts from people and sometimes they need my immediate attention, and especially if it's a 911 text, I got to get back to them immediately whether I'm on a live stream or not. So and I'll put it aside, leave it out of sight, leave it over there. Oh, good afternoon, Jeff. How did your night turn out last night? Get your tutoring done? Or tutoring your grandson or something like that? I can't remember exactly what was said last night. Oh. Anybody out there? Well, yesterday and today, my chat is just dead. I was being a chauffeur for my grandson. Oh. Okay. I don't know. This is crazy. I'm getting updates. I had one for the last 2 or 3 days, and then yesterday it disappeared. And I'll be a SOB if it's back. I'm gonna go check once really quick here, see if it is the update I'm thinking. It's the one that keep pulling and the one that keeps coming back. Well, it looks like it's back for the second time. I didn't go see what that update is. Yeah, huh. That's what I thought. KB 507 4105. It is back. They pulled it and they must have put it back today because. And then I got a 2026 .NET Framework Preview Update. This one's also a preview update. The KB 507 4105. Also a preview update. Well, you know what? I'm not taking them. I don't really trust those preview updates anymore. They sound like they're more of a problem than they are a help. So when those get off the preview and get into the regular updates, then I might take them, but that might be a while. And no zero optional updates. That's funny. I haven't had any of those for a while. And I'm not sure if Windows is correct about that or if they're missing something. I'll get back to Minute in the chat, or boy, my tongue twisted on that one. I'll get back to chat in a second. I need to check things. So this is one of my more unstable computers. It acts kind of funny every once in a while. So I'm just making sure that everything is kind of behaving itself today. Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, those are preview updates. Me personally, I don't want to mess with the preview updates anymore. I know everybody in the world sins at me for saying that. And it's like, well, you should take no. That's why I need to turn it off to get the latest updates as soon as they're available, because that's when you get the preview updates. Turn that off and you won't get the preview updates anymore. But everybody's convinced you gotta have it on. So I have mine on. Just to satisfy the people out in the world. You have your, get the latest updates turned on? It's like, no. Well, you might want to turn it on. Okay. So it is on. I just don't quite understand why. Why do we have to get the preview updates before the regular update comes out? Oh, Jeff Raymond. Is Darren back? Oh, Darren, you out there? Mr. Book, aka Darren. I guess the answer to your question, Ken, is no. He was here. He said hello the first 3 times. By the way, Darren was first, second, and third. Ken was fourth. Jeff was fifth. Jeff says I had to take him to an evening session of his charter school to make up a test. Yeah, fourth. 1, 2, 3 is Darren. He's the first 3. Actually, you know what? He's first. You're second. Okay, I'm doing that wrong. Never mind. I just remembered how you guys do it. And if you got 3, that only counts as 1. Oops. Yeah, technically you're second. Glitch in the brainwaves there. I forgot how you guys did that, and when you questioned me fourth, I like, oh yeah, that's right. Darren would technically be first. Ken would be technically second, because Darren's first 3 count as 1. I forgot that. Well, you were messing with me, Ken, but I take things like that seriously. I'm not much too much of a joker nowadays. Someone asks me a question and I answer it. The best ability I can. Because I don't want to be making mistakes and then people call me out on it. Say, you know what you didn't do? Like, yeah, I know. It's just the way my warped brain works. So I don't know if any of you saw the title of... I guess I might as well get going on this because it looks like no one else is going to show up. Damn it. Oh, the title of my show. I had to laugh about it. I seriously had to laugh about it because Microsoft... Oh, crap, Microsoft. Why do you say things like this and not hold up your end of the deal? But they are promising, and they shouldn't have said it that way, but they are promising they will fix all the problems in Windows 11 2026. Oh, yeah, you take it away, and in the process, you break something. Or you add something, you break something. You break something to add something. You're always breaking things. So, how many things are you gonna break this time? I know I shouldn't gripe on Windows so much, but that just doesn't sound right to me. They promised they'd fix everything in Windows. Well, they need to fix the Windows core features. That's what they should fix. Taskbar, start menu, task manager, file explorer, on and on and on and on. Things that they need to fix, and they're just not doing it. That's what they need to dig their heels into, and just dig down to the bottom of that and just figure out where the problem is. Fix it, patch it, or whatever they're going to do, and then leave it alone. Things were fine before Microsoft started messing with things, and now everything's broken. Break it to make it better. No, you're breaking it so a lot of people walk off Windows and they go over to Linux. That's what Windows is doing. I don't know if it's an intentional thing or if it's a mistake. They don't mean to be breaking things or whatever, but I don't hold much faith in Windows saying that they're going to fix everything in Windows 11 and 20. I just don't. They don't have enough time. See, when they did those layoffs this year, last year, and the years before, when they got rid of, and I learned this from Paul Thurrott the other night on Windows Weekly, they laid off all the legacy people of Windows. There is no one there, maybe a few, but they're kind of getting drowned out and having to adapt to the new way of Windows. They got rid of all the key essentials for Windows to progress, to go forward and be better. And I know Windows wants to get rid of Microsoft wants to get rid of all the legacy in Windows eventually. The control panel, sound properties menu, that's going to be upgraded. Not going to be the old one that we have in Windows 7. And the legacy stuff is there, but you kind of have to dig for it to find it, because they want you to use that new, everything new in Windows 11 is what they want you to use, and not use the legacy, and I'm not a big fan of that. Some of the legacy stuff they have, I like. CEO of Microsoft considers their AI a core feature. Yeah. Yeah, they do. But like Satya Nadella said, if it doesn't prove its self-worth, and so far it isn't, Satya Nadella did say it won't stay here if it can't prove its self-worth. It's not producing the money hand over fist and doing exactly what they wanted to do. Satya Nadella said they're just going to get rid of it if it doesn't play ball the way it's supposed to. For the most part, it isn't, and that's why Satya Nadella gave out that warning. If this AI stuff within Microsoft doesn't prove its self-worth, it's gone. Well, thank you, Satya Nadella, for finally stepping up and saying that. I've been kind of waiting for you to say that. He finally did. A year or so later. But he did. He finally did step up to the plate and say, I'll make the promise to you people that if this AI stuff does not pan out the way it's supposed to, it will be gone. Yay. But how long is it going to take him to do that? 2, 3, 4 years? I don't think they're going to pull it right away. I think they're just going to let it lay there, just drag the process out for 2 or 3 years, and the rest of us are just like, come on, get rid of it. Just hit that delete button and get rid of AI. Ship it off to somewhere else. They're going to put that AI stuff in the File Explorer. They're going to put it in everything. I mean, not AI. It's what you call it, Copilot. It's going to be in everything. everything they can think of putting the crappy Copilot into it, they're gonna put it back. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe some year I'll get used to Copilot and AI, but for right now, I don't have the mind power or the time to be dealing with bullshit like that. You know, and they make it better, you know, in a year or so, I might think about it, but for right now, no, it needs to grow up a little bit. They need to get the Grok 5, Grok 6. Gemini is now up to 3. They need to get to Gemini 5. ChatGPT, it needs to go up a few levels. They're just at their basement level right now, and in maybe a year or so, when these AI start growing up a little bit and starting to adapt a little bit better to their surroundings or whatever, maybe then I'll try it. But right now, it's a hot pile of garbage. And I've heard a lot of people, even the local people in my town, have said this AI stuff is a bunch of BS. I'll say it that way. I can't F-bomb it because family friendly, you know. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, Satya Nadella is saying one thing, but yet behind the scenes he's saying another, that if this doesn't all pan out, he'll get rid of it. But the question that hasn't been answered is, how long is it going to take Microsoft to get rid of all this AI stuff? I don't know. At this point, IDK, IDC. That's the way I feel about it. Sorry for those people that disagree with me on that, but for right now, IDK, IDC. I just don't give a flying about it. It's just not going to be a part of my life right now. I'm going to wait a while, and maybe this next coming fall, I'll take another sneak peek at it, see if it's improved any, but I don't think it's going to. I think we're kind of stuck with the AI we've got. It's kind of unfortunate. And I watched Missy's channel. I didn't catch her on the live because I got caught up in other things. Didn't keep up with the time. And then I realized, oh crap, Missy's channel. By the time I got to it, the live stream was over. So I watched the recorded version of it. See, that kind of a game is relaxing and kind of fun to play with, but all these deep fighting games that people get into and Battleship Wars or what, I can't get into that. Those really, really fast moving games, I can't do those. I lose my butt every time. But something like Sim City or Sims, it's a little lower geared, kind of quieter, a little bit not so busy. I don't know. It would be something I would try, but then again, if I were to try it, then I'd be there. I'd had probably wouldn't be going to bed like I should be at night. So it's probably better that I stay off the games for a while. So Ken Stout, how's your weather today? Uh-oh. Did we lose Ken? Or is my chat dead again and not operating like it's supposed to? I really need to go through my sources here. This is just something is screwed up here. I got a video capture 3, video capture 2, video capture 1, a test that does nothing, a test size, text blah, blah, blah. Text test size. What the bejeebies is that? I've got image, which I use, the test I used, and the test I what? Why do I have two tests? Oh, it's a text. GDI plus 2. What the fuck is GDI plus? I don't know. This sources thing in my OBS is foobarred. I mean, it works, but I've got 2 video capture devices, and I only have 1 web cam. Although, I'll probably leave it like that because I do have another webcam I can hook up, and then I'll put it on the top of my desk where I have a look down view. So I'll probably keep that there, but there's things sitting in here and I don't know what they are. Yeah, it's oh, let's go check out the news on Wired to see what they're saying today. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Filled it in for me. Good. Oh, yeah, this ICE thing, this ICE, they're picking up illegal immigrants. They're in Brainerd. Now every time I go downtown or something with ICE around, that I'm kind of afraid they're gonna pick me up. And that's what my mom's warned me about. Just be careful. Have your ID and have your tribal ID card with you because, but they don't. ICE doesn't exactly understand the tribal ID cards, so they might decline it. And if you have a felony warrant, misdemeanor, or whatever, they're gonna pick you up. But if you're an illegal immigrant, shoveling your neighbor's yard, they won't bother you. But if they have a felony or a gross misdemeanor, and they've got a warrant or whatever, yeah, they're gonna come pick them up. That's what their local sheriff said. Is anybody that's got warrants or anything, they're going to pick them up. They'll pick me up, but they'll put me in jail, but maybe a day or two later I'm going to get released because they've got no reason to hold me and they know that. But until they do know that, off to jail I go. And my mom said it kind of sucks. You're a legal citizen in the United States doing nothing wrong, but these ICE people are going to come pick you up, put you in jail until they can figure out who you are. Stupid. Stupid. An AI toy exposed 50,000 log of its chats with kids to anyone with a Gmail account. Really? Let's see, what other kind of bad news do they have? Anything in here that I want to talk about here? Google's new Chrome Auto Browse agent attempts to roam the web without you. Great. Lovely. That's all we need. I'm kind of interested. I am going to read that. Oh, you've read your last free article. Really? You're not going to let me read it? You stupid idiots. I don't. What do you mean free article? See, did Wired go behind a paywall? Is that what happened? Because they're not letting me read the article. Did they fall behind a paywall? Stupid idiots. Well, there goes my idea of reading it. Ugh. I guess I can start a free trial. Yeah, they did find it. They are behind a paywall. God dang it. Wish they hadn't. God. All right, that does it for Wired. Oh, damn it. That is very, very disappointing. Well, goodbye, Wired. Nice to know you. That's disgusting. They went behind the paywall. You want to read their articles, you gotta pay for it. But I guess that's the way of the world nowadays. A lot of those so-called magazine companies that are online nowadays are they either want you to subscribe or subscribe with payment, and that's what Wired is. You can subscribe, but the subscription, the paid subscription, is what it is. Ugh, that irritates me. And Ken says 6 watching it and only 2 likes. Oh, come on, guys. Where's my likes? Views 10. Concurrent viewers 9. Chat rate is 0. Well, I can only usually get 1 free article per month from Wired. Yeah, I really wish they hadn't done that. I liked Wired. I really did. Nah, they went behind a paywall. I'm just a little irritated by that. You just have to ignore me for a couple seconds. I'm just not happy with what they did. So, where else can I get my news from? Ooh, hasn't fallen behind a paywall. That's just... Oh. Missy Channel, hello! Yes, my doctor called. I had to take that call. Sorry, y'all. Well, that's fine. Glad you're here. Hey, Wintermute. Medium.com. What? I'm gonna click off this and it'll kick me off of... Yep. Don't like doing that. Cracked Wired's paywall in 2 seconds. Cracking Wired's paywall in this... Yeah, okay. I found this sweet extension with... which also works. They give a hyperlink. Wired has set up a paywall that allows users to read 4 articles a month for free. Really? That's not what it just told me. And then they get blocked by their paywall for reading any additional content for free. Keep my patience, stay calm, keep the heart rate low. Using Google Chrome, you can edit this cookie extension, and then open an article from Wired in your browser. Now open the extension menu and find the cookie. I'll go find my cookies at a store, thank you. Now that we have found our culprit, you can block this specific cookie from being sent. Open the extension, click on the wrench in the open settings, and go to blocked cookies section. Now, add the wired domain, and the name of the cookie. The name of the cookie. Okay. I'm trying not to laugh. The name of the cookie. Okay. Oh, I gotta find some humor out of this somewhere. I really do. Yeah, so you gotta create an account with this too. Continue reading. Set up with Google. Sign up with Facebook. Set up with email. Has the whole world gone to paywalls? I still get a cookie. The name, put the name of the cookie. Oh, damn it. Okay. Moving on. It's just, that's funny. That is really, really funny. Ken Stone says I put Bali 20 thing to change in charge of mine. Cookies are name value pairs. Yeah, that's over my head, Wintermute. IDC, IDK, IDC on that one. I'm just irritated that they put it behind a paywall. There you go. Quit jumping on me, chat. Just reading something and it disappeared on me. There is a fee for doing anything nowadays. Not in my world, there isn't. I just ignore the people that want a paywall. I'm not gonna get suckered into paying money for every single website I go to. And if it goes that way, then I'll just slowly get off the internet. That's just how stubborn I am about it. I mean, if OBS went behind a paywall, I would dump OBS. I just do not want to pay for equipment I'm using. I mean, I probably could with DaVinci, but that's a lot of money. That's about the only one I'd put money into is DaVinci, but not at that price. Cookies are named value pairs. Oh, it's 234. Dang it. I went over my limit again. Every so often, Wired offers the cheap give. I think I've caught up with everything in chat. I'm going over it again. Is Darren back? Did Darren come back yet? I don't see him. Hello, adapters. OBS is open. Open source. Yeah. Yeah, no, Darren. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared. All right, guys. I'm going to call it quits. Sounds like you guys don't have anything else you want to talk about, so. And I'm kind of running out of mojo to keep talking. As most of you people know, I'm not a talker. I'd rather just sit there and keep my lips shut. But if someone asks me a question or something or has a statement, I'll say something, but I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm not like some people we know out in the world that once they start talking, half hour later, which is fine. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. They can go do it on someone else's channel, but you're not going to talk for an hour and a half on my channel where everybody else is waiting in line to make a comment or say something. It's not fair to everybody else. So, how about Microsoft and their huge 10% stock lately? I haven't heard about that. Maybe Baldy can talk about it or someone, but I don't know anything about their stock. I don't keep up on it. Jeff and Ken, smiling faces. I think they know what I'm referring to. And you guys, I don't want to be mean. I'm trying not to be mean about it. It's just, I'm not a fan of people talking for hours and hours and hours and hours. Keep your statements short and sweet and move on. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I will say about it. I'm not going to bug people about it, but. And there are people here in my building that will sit there and just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm like, really? Going on a half hour here. Hour later, they're still going. I just get up and walk away. And they said, where are you going? Well, I've got other things to do. I won't tell them I'm leaving because they won't shut their pie hole. It's just they're talking for an hour. I lose interest. Unless they've got something I'm really, really, really interested in. Then, yeah, I'll stick around. But around here, that's not the case. Online it is because people talk about things I want to talk about. But, the tech stuff and whatever. Speaking of tech stuff and other stuff and whatever else is going on, I do plan on making a second channel for my biking channel. So when I get on my bike and put my GoPro, ouch. Ow, ouch. That bubble finally disappeared, or whatever it was. But anyhow, I do plan on probably getting with some folks on Zoom and trying to come up with a half-assed idea to come up with a biking channel. I've got my mountain bike and I've got my trailer, and other stuff, and I plan on doing biking trips, around my area on the biking trail. I'll take you guys up north. I wish I could do that live. But on the biking trail, there is no signal out there. So that wouldn't last long. I'd lose connection pretty quick. But I do plan on doing that. I just need people smarter than me to do it. And I'll kind of guide them as to how I want it to be, but I'll make the suggestions and then have them glue things together, because if I do it, it's not cool. It won't look right at all. William's office, did he show up today? I just remembered him. Microsoft stock currently down 1.27. Yeah, yeah. Instead of Jeff Redmond, I said that and I second your thoughts. Well, if you want a half-assed, the homies are your crew. Bill is out of the house today. Damn. I was hoping he'd be here. Rick, you should look into the Catherine Valley Trail in Watkins Glen, New York. Well, here's a problem with that. I don't have a DL. My eyesight is playing games enough with me where the state won't give me a driver's license. Yeah, I'd have to find a way of getting me and my bike to New York and then find the place that you're talking about. And I've never been to New York. I'd like to be on that trail. Maybe, you know what? Have you been there? Because if you have, do you have pictures of it? Is there any videos of the place? Do they have a website? Um, I can try to arrange something for you. I wonder if Missy is still here. Yep, she is. Adapter deal. I don't bother. I can't leave the state of Minnesota. And not that I can't. It's just, yeah. There's a reason why I can't. My parents is one of them. But if I can get pictures of a video of that place, I'd love to see it. And well, it comes down, we know about you because of your description last night about the one site you went to with the mirror on the wall, and it wasn't a paywall. That wall. Oh, it's a state park. You know, being that I'm Ojibwe Indian, I can get into state parks for free. I don't know if people knew that. My mom keeps telling me that, oh, Catherine Valley Trails. Wow. Oh, amenities. They've got biking, hiking trails, hunting, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing. I don't see snowmobiles on there. On our trails, we can take the snowmobile on them in the winter. Open year-round from dawn to dusk. Hunting attention. Hunters highly pathogenic avian influenza, bird flu, has recently been detected in New York State in a variety of waterfowl species. Well, we've got the same problem here in my area. I'll have to look at this and, yeah, I'll have to, boy, that's a skinny trail. Although that one isn't. Yeah, this one looks similar to the bike trail that I go on. It's called the Paul Bunyan Trail. And the Paul Bunyan is not a person, it's a legend. We used to have the Paul Bunyan Music Park in Baxter before they moved out to this old farm. They had a big, huge movable statue of Paul Bunyan. His head would turn, it would look down, it would look up. His feet wouldn't move, his legs wouldn't move because they were in place. His chest or anything didn't move, but his arms and his head would go up and down. He'd kind of look a little bit. It was all right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. Thank you for the link, Wintermute. I probably would have had a hell of a time finding it myself. Trailhead. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that later. In the meantime, where are we at here? Bill is in the house, in the chat. Hi, Rick, I'm back. Hi, hello. The other trails can be rough. Yeah, I saw a few of their pictures. They look like they're a little bumpy. I saw one. Well, that trail looked perfectly smooth. Ours is okay, except where they've got the cracks in the pavement. They try to seal it, that black seal stuff that go across the trail, and it becomes a divot, a little shell, a little divot. So when you're biking, you're just like, dunk, dunk, and about 20 feet later, it's like, dunk, dunk. So it's a little uncomfortable. Some of those little divots aren't so bad, but a lot of them are just dunk, dunk, like, ouch. So, yeah, they need to fix it, but they never have. BH Ringer, hello. How you doing, BH? Understood. Okay. Molly, I tried getting Indian privileges once, but the BIA wanted me to supply tribal registration numbers and other stuff. I didn't get very far. I don't have to worry about that. I can just walk up to a state park, hand my ID card from Mille Lacs, and boom, I walk in. Staying warm, Rick? As long as I'm inside. Actually, I was outside yesterday. It was like 2 above, but the wind was low, if any, so it wasn't too bad. Today, it's I think above 0, but it is windy. So that's what's gonna keep me in today. Yeah, it's 6 above, but there's a wind, a noticeable wind. So, brr. So no, unfortunately, I'm staying home again. I don't know when I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I really don't know when I'm gonna get out for, biking or whatever, but I just can't stand being out in that cold for too long. I mean, I can for a little bit, but my muscles and my joints just don't put up with it too much anymore. I was on the FBI's most wanted rolls. My late wife was on Cherokee rolls. Cherokee. Yes, BH Ringer, how about you give us an update on your health? You doing better, getting worse? Are you kind of stabilized? How are you doing? Canadian homie. Slow recovery, but things are better. That's good to hear. That is very good to hear, because about a month ago, I know you're saying your pain was getting so bad that you're looking at your ultimatums, and I'm glad things got better. Although I don't blame you. When I was having those muscle spasms where I couldn't get off my bed, and even wiggling my toes would send severe muscle spasms up to my neck, I didn't want to live that way, and I told my mom that. I said, things are going to end pretty quickly if I don't get out of this pain. She immediately called my doctor, any doctor, and they finally suggested, we can't do anything here, but they can down in Maple Grove. They gave my mom the number. She immediately called them. What was it, 3 weeks later? I was down in Maple Grove. And I've been doing fine ever since then. But I don't know if my mom didn't take me seriously or whatever, but, well, I know she took me seriously because I've always had severe problems. I think she was just more interested in listening to the local doctors, because she really didn't want to drive down to the cities. And I don't blame her at her age. But it got to a point really quickly. She realized we can't do this locally. These doctors aren't helping him any. So she finally agreed, and finally my doctor told her, he says, you gotta call Maple Grove. They're about the only ones that can actually do something about this. Then later on, about 1 or 2 years later, I find out Brainerd can do the injections, but not as good as Maple Grove. And I did it once here in Brainerd. Never again. Never. Never. And I told my mom, said, don't ever suggest me going to Brainerd and getting an injection for my cortisone. I said, never suggest Brainerd. They don't know what the hell they're doing. So we're back in Maple Grove. It's a longer trip down there, but to be honest, it's worth it. I get a lot more better results in Maple Grove than coming up here to Brainerd and getting this wise ass stupid doctor that says, oh, I can fix that for you. Watch this. And, oh, no. And I said, oh, just hang on. And then he takes the whole needle and he swings it over to my left because my sciatic nerve was, he pointed the needle to the right. He wanted to get it to my right hip area, to my sciatic nerve. That hurt like a son of a bitch when he did that. But he paid no attention to me, telling him, no, don't do that, stop. And he just kept pushing the needle forward, and then he just injected the rest of the cortisone. Very, very unpleasant experience. And that's when I called my mom when I got home. I said, don't you ever, ever suggest me going to Brainerd. That doctor is an a-hole. And she apologized, and she said, well, I'm sorry, but we just didn't have a choice. Insurance wasn't working with us. It was just a mess, and we ran out of time. And they had to do something about the sciatic nerve problem because it was starting to cause me walking problems. So they finally, I'm not going to go to Brainerd again. When I was growing up and around Minnesota, we always used the word Chippewa instead of Ojibwe, which means the same thing. When did the word Chippewa fall off the favor? Back in the day, Baldy, I used to be able to answer that question. But if I'm believing, there's a reason it changed. And if I go back to my chief of Mille Lacs, I'd ask him many years ago or something. And it had to do with something, so they switched the name over. I don't know all the details. I'd have to go to Mille Lacs and ask Virgil Wynn about it. He's our tribal leader, and he's the one that I watch on YouTube for our daily briefings on how things are going through Mille Lacs. Ouch. Some doctors have a hard time listening. Yeah, that is true. They just want to do it their way and just not listen to me saying, ow, ow, stop, don't do it that way. No. And he did it anyhow. I told my doctor about it, Dr. Jewison in the cities. He stood up on his feet and he said, he did what? I said, he took that needle and he bent it. No. He said, let's avoid that from now on. My mom didn't hear that. She's suggesting, well, when she stops driving in about a year, I'm going to have to find someplace to get these injections. Because if she's not driving anymore and I can't drive, I'm not paying $500 each way for the taxi to take me. That's $1,000. I told her I'm not doing it. Well, she said, well, after I'm dead and gone or quit driving, what are you going to do? I don't know. I could probably find a friend that would take me down there, but they're never going to find the place. My mom had a hell of a time finding it the first and second time. The instructions are very simple, but she had noticed if you're not paying attention, you'll go right past the exit you're supposed to get off on, even though it's 12A. I've memorized that part. Get off on exit 12A. If you're not paying attention, you'll go right by it. It's like, oh shit, there's 12. And then you gotta find a way of turning around, then hitting the ramp for 12A again, and then going off into the place you're supposed to. But then the recovery time on that for the injections is 1 day, because you're not really supposed to do anything for that full day after the injection. So then we get back to my mom's around 2:30, maybe close to 3 o'clock, and from that time all the way till 3 o'clock the next afternoon, I kind of have to take it easy. I'm not supposed to be out biking, picking up things, twisting, running. Supposed to just kind of sit down and relax for about 14 hours. Let that cortisone kind of soak in and do what it's supposed to. But it can't really do that when you're out running around, twisting and bending and jumping and running. And I did that once, and he noticed it when I went back. He said, hey, did you not rest that full day? Because this isn't laying like it's supposed to. It's like, not really. I kept going up downstairs at my mom's house. It's like, no, you can't do that. You have to just lay still for about 14 hours. You can get up and walk around, but don't be taking the stairs all day. Oh, soon nap time. Later. All right, catch you later. Yeah, it's 2:58, guys. I'm going to close this live stream down because I think I've talked long enough. You guys have heard enough of me. So, oh, okay, there we go. With that, today is Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. No live stream tomorrow. I always skip Saturdays, but there will be a live stream on Sunday. Same time, same place. No idea what I'm going to talk about, but I'll figure it out. And until then, you guys have a great, wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful Friday. Have fun, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.